Here's exactly how to make $1 million in 1 week. Okay, if you want $1 million in 1 week, you're gonna want to get serious fast. Okay, because that's 1 week. Okay, that's only 7 days. Okay, I'm gonna tell you exactly how to do it. Okay. Now, $1 million. That might sound crazy at first. Like $1 million. That's how many zeros? It's six zeros. Fuck. You put a one in front of that. You put six zeros, and then you go back and you put a one in the very front of that. And that's how much a million is. Just to put it in your mind, how much a million is. That's exactly how much a million is. So when you're starting out on your journey to make $1 million, and again, you only have 7 days because again, we're doing it in a 1 week challenge. You have stuff to do. You have bills to pay. Maybe you bet too much money on the Denver Broncos, and they did ass, and then they traded Russell, or they just fucking lost Russell Wilson. So you want to make $1 million, okay? The easiest way to make $1 million is to provide $1 million of value, okay? How do I provide $1 million of value? Well, to provide $1 million in value, you have to think from the mindset of the consumer. What does the consumer want? The consumer wants value. What's value to a consumer? Well, think about what people want. They want food, they want shelter, they want comfort, they want distraction. How do you distract somebody? Well, you have to keep their mind engaged. You have to ask questions and then answer for them. How do I keep asking questions for them? Well, you have to think what maybe they're wondering inside their head and then say it before they're thinking it. And then how do I have a conversation that's fourth wall breaking while in a video while discussing how to make $1 million? Well, you do that by doing exactly what I'm doing right now. Oh, okay. So this is kind of a one-way, two-way conversation with a hypothetical audience asking questions that they would never ask, but then I'm answering them, and now I'm confused, and now I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Anyway, to make $1 million, you have to be focused. Focused on what? Focused on money. You have to constantly wake up and you go, money, money, money. when when people ask what you're doing, you go, I'm making money. Uh-huh. And you have to say it kind of weird and autistic like that. You have to go, I'm making money. Haha. People are going to go, is there something wrong with that guy? And the answer is going to be yes. But the answer is also going to be, he's going to make $1 million in 7 days or less. And that's what this video is all about. And it's in the title, it's in the thumbnail. How to make $1 million in 7 days or less. Now, the money niche, the financial niche, it's going to be full of scammers, okay? People like Tai Lopez, oh, I'm in my car with my Lamborghini. That Lamborghini was a lentil. I mean, it was a lease. It wasn't a lentil. It's not beans. It's not soup. What it was a lease. It wasn't his. Those books, he hadn't read all of them. Now, books are very good. Books are a good way to get smarter. But if you're serious about getting smarter, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to talk to smart people. Now, where do I find smart people? Well, find people that have read a lot of books. It's faster to be somebody's to learn from somebody, right? You need to find a mentor. All successful people in history have had mentors. My mentor, the first thing he told me was, you need a mentor. And I said, oh, where am I going to find a mentor? And they said, I'll be your mentor. And then I said, oh, thanks. And then he gave me $1 million. I'm just kidding. He didn't give me $1 million. But I'm telling you now how to make $1 million. I'm telling you what he told me. So you got to focus on branding. Okay, branding is pretty much the thing that people know you by. If you're the guy that wears the same shirt every day of his life, kind of like Charlie Brown from the Charlie Brown Show, then people are really going to know what you look like, and you're going to have a brand, okay? People are going to recognize you. People are going to go, that's the guy with the Charlie Brown shirt. And this is a good way to make sure that people know you, people remember you. You don't want to be forgotten, okay, especially in the business world, okay? If you're trying to make $1 million, you only have 7 days for people to learn your name, buy your product, and buy it again and again and again, hopefully 7 days in a row. If you're selling something for $2 and it costs $1 to make, then you're making $1 profit per sale, okay? So if you're getting them to buy one item of your product every day for 7 days, and it's $7 per person. So you're going to need to convince roughly 100,000 people. No, you're going to need to convince, you're going to need to convince a little bit more than 100,000 people. Let's just to make it easy, we'll go we'll say you're going to need to convince 120,000 people. And I think that might be roughly right as an estimate. So 120,000 people, and you want them to buy your product 7 days in a row. If you can accomplish this, then you're going to make $1 million profit in 7 days. Now, after taxes, it's going to be less than $1 million. It's going to be like half, so it's going to be like $500,000. But as we all know, if you did it one week, then you can do it the next week. So the next week, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you follow the same principles, and then this time you make $2 million. And then that will actually be $1 million after tax and profit when you take out the half for taxes. Because again, taxes go up higher when you're making more money. So if you were making minimum wage, then you would have had to pay maybe 10% in taxes, maybe less. Some people don't even have to pay taxes because they make so little. This is not an enviable situation to be in, folks. It's not better to make less money and pay less taxes. It's actually the more taxes you're paying, the more money you're making. It's an interesting situation. But if you're serious about making $1 million in a week, then obviously you're going to be thinking about who your market is. Your market is made up of the people that are buying your products, so you have to target them directly. This is where your branding comes into play, because you have to think about your branding as it deals with the customer base that you're going after. The customer base you're going after is going to determine and guide the kind of branding that you want to do. If you're trying to market a product towards old people, then you don't want your brand to be teenage-like rebellion. You're probably going to want your brand to be kind of making fun of teenagers, or maybe thinking that they know it all. Something very boring. If you're going towards a younger market, you're going to want to make sure that your product is more interesting. Emphasis on the interesting. You're going to want to make sure that it's interesting. And then with the older people, you're going to want to make sure that it's as boring as possible. The more boring it is, then the more interesting it's going to be to old people, in the sense that old people are going to be more drawn to it. Simple things like the color white, the color black. These are things that old people like. They understand them. Old people don't understand complex things. No offense to old people. I'm talking 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds, okay? They're tired of all the bullshit. They're tired of all the noise. They just want simple, easy living, and you can't blame them. After living that long, you grow weak in all the areas, and you're just about ready to be done. There are exceptions. Guys like Warren Buffett work until they're in their 90s. And he's a billionaire, so he knows what he's talking about. He's definitely had his million-plus profit weeks, even days. A guy like that, it doesn't even make sense to reach down for a $100 bill. He's got so much money. Now, a lot of his money is tied up in stock. That's another way to make $1 million in a week. Another way to make $1 million in a week is to befriend very, very, very wealthy people. Because very, very, very wealthy people are going to be able to tell you and help you with the different kinds of skills required to make money on your own. Yeah, I got a double kill. Anyway, that's pretty much fucking it. Now you know how to make money. Now you're going to be a fucking success. You're welcome. Thanks for watching. Oh, fuck, I got fourth.